trading, all right? Marcus Aurelius said this, all right? He said, Marcus Aurelius, he was emperor of Rome, right? Roman emperor. This is what he said. He said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. When you realize this, you will find strength, okay? You have power over your mind, not outside events. When you realize this, you will find strength. Now, somebody tell me in the chat, what does that mean to you? Why do you think that that is a significant quote for me to bring up right here and right now? Why do you guys think that? Why do you think that might be true? What do you say? What is that? Better yet, I should say, what does that quote mean to you? What does that mean to you? As I become a ghost really quick. All right. Why does that quote matter? Right. Yeah. What does this have to do with trading? Right. Translation to trading. Right. Is that you can't control the market. You can control yourself, i.e. emotions. So control what you can control and only worry about what you can control, right? Now, someone give me a scenario in the markets where it is very important for you to know this reality, where something, occur. What's an occurrence that oftentimes happens in the market or in trading that you are like, that impacts you, that is, important to you, that has an effect on you per se, and this comes into play. What do you guys think? Checking out all the rooms. I ask this because currently in this market, we've seen a heck of a lot of...
Hi, it's Fitz with Slap Chop.
That's right. What's something that happens? What do you often at times experience? I know you all been journaling. I know you've been working hard. I know you've been, marking off your trades and taking your notes and learning. Yeah, tell me something. Somebody give me something. Yeah, okay, I'm seeing this. Yeah, so here's an example, all right? All right? Example, okay? In the morning, right? Market rips. You are long or get long and don't take profits. How are you feeling? What is the emotion? How are you feeling? How are you feeling? What's the emotion? Give me a couple words, a couple adjectives. I'm looking at my Iris people. You're feeling loss, failure. Good. Remember, move on. All right. Yep. Let's see. Well, Larika, you are a beast. If she says, I feel no emotion. How are you feeling? Right? If you're long or you get long, and the market rips, let me make this clear. You don't take profits, then it drops hard. How are you feeling? Right? We're feeling, let's use all the words. We're feeling lousy, frustrated, right? Angry. These are all the words I'm seeing, right? Upset, disappointed. Somebody said shameful. Now, tell me in the chat, has that ever happened to you? Has that situation ever happened to you as a trader? Paul Trade says yes. Bobby K, yes. Sharik, yes. My folks over in Iris, right? Of course it has, right? Even S Wedge said stupid, all right? Stupid. Yeah. Archer says, not at all. Ed Demois, not me. Couldn't possibly be me, right? Frequently, Lundy says. Yeah, okay. Let me ask this question. Here's a question. Here's an important question. To happen to all of you guys, after my years in trading, do you think that this still happens to me? What do you think? Do you think that this still happens to me? Yes or no? Some of you guys are saying, yes, this still happens to me, right? It happens to all of us. Guess when this last happened to me? Somebody take a guess. When do you think this last happened to me? Connie is right. It happened today. I spoke to Becca today at 10:30. She says, hey, Sturge, which, by the way, that's my nickname. You guys can call me Sturge. Now we're friends, right? She said, hey, how you doing? I'm like, crappy, right? Mad. Oh, by the way, Barbara, I just sold that FCX trade I gave you guys on Jan 19 for a nice double. That didn't suck. All right. Beautiful. Let that thing keep running. This happened to me today. How you doing, Sturge? Man, I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated because when you look at the market today, and here, let's take a look at this market today. What do we get? We got this massive rip. All right, this gap up open in the SPY. Dang, Gina. Okay, all right, this happened to me today. So when this happens, right, you have a choice to make. This happens to me today, all right? Did it make me feel frustrated? Yes, 100%. I'm a human too. I bleed my own blood, right? Just because, guys, don't ever get the impression here that I'm some, perfect, not at all, right? Not at all. I'm just a few steps further on the journey than some of you all, and I'm trying to help you see the path, okay? So that said, did I feel frustrated? Yes. And so at this point, there are two roads, right? What is road one? That is an emotional road, right? And what do? You give into the emotions and you react. What does that reaction look like? What does that reaction look like? I'm sorry, there are three roads. Number one, the emotional reaction. What does that reaction oftentimes look like? What could it look like? What are some typical responses you've noticed about yourself in this situation? React. We might sell everything. We might revenge trade. Right? We might, freeze. Right? And not sell. Right? We might feel FOMO. Okay. So that's number one. Number two, someone already said this. We just move on. Okay? We ignore it happened and look to the next thing. All right? And then number three, we stop. We evaluate how we are feeling. Ask, what caused me to feel this way? Right? Ask, could I learn something, or could I have controlled it? I have controlled it, right? And then ask, what can I learn from that, right? That is really, really, really important. Number three, when you stop to evaluate what has caused me to feel this way, right? I would say even one more above this. Ask, what am I feeling? Right? Do you know how rare it is for humans to stop and ask this question? How am I feeling? I'm not sure. I'm not quite sure how I'm feeling. How am I feeling? I'd really like to feel, we don't like that. Agree. Tell me, agree or disagree. Do you like to sit and look at your feelings, especially when they're negative? Do you like to sit and evaluate your feelings, especially when they're negative? Agree or disagree? Most of us, if we're honest with ourselves, the answer is no, right? Because we know oftentimes that we caused it and we don't want to put ourselves through the ringer of having caused it, right? But it's so important to evaluate our feelings, because when we evaluate the feelings, we stop the chain reaction. I'm gonna put that up. I'll put this up here. Note. It's so important to stop and evaluate our feelings to stop the chain reaction that leads to bad trading, right? What happens next? Okay, that's really essential. And then we say, what caused me to feel this way? So here's what it was this morning, right? Let me do it for me. How am I feeling, right? Frustrated. What caused me to feel this way? Well, I didn't take profits and stopped break even. Okay, all right? So that's number one. How am I feeling? Frustrated. What caused me to feel this way? Could I have controlled that? Yes, I could have, right? So I could have controlled it. I definitely could have controlled it, right? So what can I learn from this, right? Well, this morning I had Bible study at 7 a.m. with my guys, then a meeting after that ran long. I got to the market right at open, right? I wasn't prepared. Right? I wasn't sitting there seeing that we had gapped up, looking at the results, recognizing I probably should have taken profits right away. I wasn't prepared. So, right? What will I change, right? Or do different? Okay, number one, I will set an alarm on my phone, right? Number one, I could do this. I would say, one, don't take pre-market meetings. Okay, number two, set an alarm on my phone to get home by 9:15. Clearly, I'm a talker. We were talking. It was an important meeting, talking about stuff. Got wrapped up. Okay. Number three. What's another thing that I could do different? You guys tell me. This is the value of a community, that we can talk to each other. What's another thing that I could have done different? If this was you and you are looking at this, what would you have done different? What would you have done different? Yeah, it was a crazy reversal. Still my fault. Still owned it. What could I have done different? Now, keep in mind, I was already long. So the market opened, I was already long, and I was up from the push from yesterday. All right? Yeah, I could have done, knowing I had a busy morning, right? Had my stops in place for profit. For sure. Yeah, these are all viable things. But when you look at this, just for the sake of our conversation, when you look at this, number one, here's what I want to do in tension with you guys. I make mistakes too. Don't feel bad, right? I make mistakes too. I had some trades yesterday. I was up, significantly yesterday, and then it pulled back down and I stopped out of break even and I lost that profit potential. Darn it. I make mistakes too. Okay. But it's not about making mistakes or not making mistakes. It's about making sure that we understand what we can control and how we respond. You will make mistakes. It's about making sure that we control, right, what we can control, particularly how we respond. because we can't change the markets. The markets dropped. It could have easily just kept on dropping. I needed to take my stops, right, for break even. But the most important thing of these three potentials, right, for you at this point, do you, one, want to choose to be an emotional response? Number two, just move. If you could choose 1, 2, or 3 in terms of how do you respond, what do you think will make you the better trader and therefore the most amount of money? What do you think? 1, get emotional and react. 2, just move on and ignore that it happened. Or number 3. Most of you are saying number 3. Which one takes the most time, energy, and effort? Number 3. But friends, if you want to get in shape, it takes the most time, energy, and effort to eat right, to work out hard, right? If you want to be a good trader, this is what it's going to take, because you are telling your body, this is how we respond to this. You're creating that in yourself. You're creating that, right? You're saying to yourself, we don't get emotional, we don't respond. So